Ladies and gentlemen, 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 and ladies, boys and girls, girls and boys, we are here again with our weekly inspirational minutes with David. Today, our talk today is called the Spellbound effect of words. The spellbound effect that words have on language. It can be right in your face and you don't even see it. It can be right in your face. I mean, spelling the words, the way people say it, pronunciation, the spelling of words can cause spells. And so we're gonna get it in. We're gonna talk about that today. We're gonna dive deep into it. I did a video a few months ago, and it was called "Words Have Spells" or "Words Cast Spells." Very true, very true, very true. I read a lot. I think I shared it with you before. I read a lot and I research, and I'm a critical thinker. You know that. You know that. But you see, there's a conflict between people and the police because neither are educated about the different jurisdictions that they operate in. And the reason why I'm talking about people and the police because you know about the trial of the officer with the George Floyd case. Been in trial all week and been headline news. So I did some research and about where the term police come from, and I am cognizant that the first police force in America come from slave patrols. I am very cognizant of that, especially after the Emancipation Proclamation that that had slave patrols, which ultimately evolved into the police control or the police force that we see today. But people, because of the conflict between people and the police, neither are educated about the different jurisdictions jurisdictions that they live in or they operate in. Few people, few people realize that there are four different jurisdictions that operate the globe. It's four of them, and the four that we're going to talk about, two of these are lawful, and two of them are legal. I had to let that sit. Two are lawful, okay? And two are legal. So, with that being said, we're about to dive all the way in. Dive all the way in. Are you ready? Do you have your did you get your school notes? Take some notes, or get your phone and take these notes, or research it. Hell, you have smartphones, smart devices. Research it. Now, few people, again, I'm going to reiterate, few people realize there are four different jurisdictions that operate across the globe. Two of these are lawful, two of these are legal. The lawful land and soil, SOIL, jurisdictions pertain to living men and women and such concepts as sole trader businesses, unincorporated partnerships, informal clubs, and associations. The legal jurisdictions of the sea and the air pertain to the physical seas and the atmosphere and companies, trusts, stocks, shares, and other similar intangible concepts largely dedicated to making money. Oh, they always come back to the money deal. It always come back somehow to the money. Now, These companies' operation, which includes governments that control you. Remember, I tell you about governments. The reason why I say that like that because government have you under a spell. Govern, control, your mental. So these companies' operations, which include governments worldwide, are regulated mainly in and by the leaders of the world's three significant city-states. Oh, it's three of them. One, two, three of the world's three significant city-states. The Vatican, the city of London, and Washington, D.C. Now, the word police, it comes from the ancient Greek word polis, P-O-L-I-S, polis, meaning of the city. Polis, P-O, let's get it, P-O, look it up, P-O-L-I-S, meaning of the city. The word policy, P-O-L-I-C-Y, has the same root definition, the root concept. In effect, this means that police only have the authority to act in the sea or air jurisdiction to enforce rules that pertain to companies, etc., as opposed to living men and women. Oh, wait. We might have to go. I had to say that again. Put your listening ears on. In effect, this means that the police have only the authority to act in the sea or air jurisdiction to enforce rules that pertain to companies, etc., opposed to living men and women. Drop a bomb on that one, man. Drop a bomb on that one because it's very true. I mean, words have power. Words cast spells. That's why when you, like I said in the video before, when you get out the bed and you hit your toe or hit your feet and you say, God, it's gonna be a messed up day today. The power of words. The power of words. When you put that out, it will bring it back to you like a boomerang. Words cast spells. Now, the deliberate lack of education about the differences between lawful and legal in the school system, subsequent ignorance is deliberately designed to mislead. It's deliberately designed to mislead and confuse both the people and those who join the police. Oh, the game is real. Information is power. And words have power. So when you think about that, I say, wow, it's pretty profound. This ignorance then frequency leads to people unwittingly, voluntarily putting themselves into legal jurisdiction where the police can take action upon them. That is why judiciary, who are effectively hired extortionists, extortionists, following the Lord Mansfield's, and let's get that name right, because I wanted you to look at it, Lord, L-O-R-D, Mansfield, M-A-N-S-F-I-E-L-D, Mansfield, introduction of the King's Equity Law to replace common law around the 1760s. Like to say, ignorance of law is of no excuse. So they'll blame you the ignorance of the law because they never taught you about the law and the origins of the law. So they say you're ignorant to it, and then they'll force it upon you. Oh man, it sounds like, yes, it does sound like taking the jab. This obscuring of the facts also designed to deliberately mislead those who have joined the police into frequently acting as thuggish enforcers against their fellow men and women when they have no authority to do so. I get quiet on that one because this has been going on for centuries. And it's been going on for centuries. And when you start researching this stuff, and when you start going down the rabbit hole into the research of the information, it blows your wig back. Again, though this observing or obscuring of the facts is also designed to deliberately mislead those who have joined the police into frequently acting as thuggish enforcers against their fellow men and women, where they have no authority to do so. And as the police have no authority to operate in the land and the soil, S-O-I-L, not the sea, but the soil on the ground, jurisdictions explains why they don't swear their oath to the people. Woo! Again, as the police have no authority to operate in the land, remember, it's of the sea. Words, the spelling, words. To operate in the land, in the soil, the ground, S-O-I-L, the soil, jurisdictions. It explains why. They don't swear their oath, golly, to the people. The game is real. The game is real! God, the game is real. It's so real that I tell you, family, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I tell you all the time, we're in the Matrix. You don't believe it? We're in the Matrix. Historically, these jurisdictions were obviously different. Historically. You know, everyone can pretty well tell the land and the soil, the land, firm ground, the soil, S-O-I-L, from the sea, the waters, the sea, S-E-A. What has to be remembered, though, people, ladies and gentlemen, family, that these jurisdictions don't only cover the physical features, they cover intangible concepts too. Think about that. The sea, the water, the sea, S-E-A, and the air, jurisdictions are where commerce takes place. Commerce is business between companies, which also formed and regulated by the rules of the sea. Jurisdictions. The sea, though, is contiguous with the rivers, or contiguous with the rivers that flow through the land. So the physical sea jurisdiction was extended to include the inland waterways, or to navigate, or the navigatable inland waterways. Had to get them too, because water, and we can navigate our power with that as well. The sea jurisdiction was further extended conceptually through a series of statutes, as that it encroached and eventually legally flooded, wordplay, the land and the soil, coming to overlie it all. It did this through the post office. Oh, we're going through this. It did it through the post office, people. The post, P-O-S-T, the post part was named after mileposts, which designed highways that were commercial routes. Look it up, research it. Therefore, any commercial business using these routes came under the jurisdiction of the sea and those who policed the sea. Now, these routes were eventually extended countrywide in number so that any commercial route could be easily referred to. You know them, or we know them, as postcodes. Thus, the police C jurisdiction from the Greek of the city, polis, P-O-L-I-S, was extended to cover every corner of the land. The police are never told that they have no jurisdiction over the people of the land and the soil, and cannot force those who are not involved in commerce to do a damn thing. Anyone commits a crime against another living man or woman can be detained by any of the people and tried by a jury of the people. Things get extra confusing for the people and the police because words have definite legal meanings and are deliberately introduced into everyday speech with a different meaning. So people can talk and learn and write about something in the lawful jurisdiction of living and never realize that it can have a much different meaning in the legal jurisdiction of the concepts. One word has different meanings, but simply using capital letters. Like, capital letters can change the meaning of a lawful word into something different when used legally to spell of words, of the spelling of the words. Not the lower cap, but if you use something, use your name in all caps. All caps can change the meaning of the word, of the name. Letters can change the meaning of a lawful word to something different when used legally. Using capitals can change the meaning yet again. An example, a person living, woman or man, and a person, corporate concept, and a person, spiritual, vision, are all different meanings and different things in the lawful and legal jurisdictions. When spoken, these words will sound precisely the same, but when used in the legal setting, they may unwittingly incriminate those who tell them or are meant to be in one when another is referred to. Peep this, people. Peep this, family. Another sneaky trick used by those who ultimately use the unwittingly police to do their dirty work is to get our mothers to register us as being born on a birth certificate. A legal certificate is used to provide evidence that we have deposited something somewhere. Hold on. What did he say? What did they? A legal certificate is used to provide evidence that we have deposited something somewhere. A legal registration, regis, R-E-G-I-S, research it. It's Latin, which means of the king. Means that something was voluntarily been gifted to the monarch who is under the control of the city. It's a legal maxim that once something is gifted, it cannot be reclaimed, but must be gifted or repurchased. The game is real. The game is real. The city, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give you the game. The city would never give it back freely. It would never give it back freely. You think you gave a gift to the monarchs of the city and they're going to just give it back to you freely? Oh, there's going to be some consequences. There's going to be some ramifications involved, some repercussions. There's nothing free. And if it's free, better research it. The city would never give it back free, not legally. It is bonded. And we'll come back to that word bond, B-O-N-D, later. It's bonded to them to do what they want to do with it, to do what they will. They can do whatever with it. The gift. So the mother effectively gives her child to the monarch, the king, as her mother did, and as her mother did, and as her mother did. It's, from generations. It's a tradition unconsciously. It's a tradition. And so back to the start of the birth certificates. However, the mother does not give her whole child to the city. The city can never have jurisdiction, a jurisdiction over the living. So what they do is to invoke the ideal of Cartesian dualism. Dualism means two. Rene Descartes, Descartes, was a Jesuit educated philosopher who came up with the now discredited idea that the body is just a vessel for the soul. The dualism, Dualism, suggests that there is a living soul without which the body cannot function. That there's a living soul without which the body can't function. So there's a dual aspect to each of us, the body and the soul. So they can legally separate the body from the soul and transport the corporate non-living body to the jurisdiction of the sea via the birth, BERTH, as in the dock or harbor certificate. This is legally enables the police to act upon our bodies. It's not our souls. It's just our bodies. The birth certificate is then given a prefix of Mr., Miss, or Miss, MISS, to match what its parents and a registration code have been named the baby. The baby's body now is legally recognized as a person, and the certificate as a bond. If you study legal documents, you will discover that children are not described as persons before being registered. Depending on the various factors, including place of birth, the father's profession, I guess they can be made at a person's lifetime income. If their income can be estimated, then so can their tax contributions. Note, a contribution is voluntary. It's a gift. But we are once again tricked into thinking it's compulsory, like it's forced. Thus, I told we're going to get back to the bond. Thus, the bond certificate. Person can be sold to raise money by the holder just like any other stock or share, as well as your output of almost every parent and child on the planet is traded and gambled on throughout your entire life. This is what your credit rating is based upon. This is what your credit rating is based upon. Whoa. Such a dirty game. Such a dirty game. And now if you produce a lot of income for the gamblers, you offer more and more and more to make money for them. They don't care about you. They want the money for them, like mortgages and loans. So they will be guaranteed that you make them even more money, even richer. Make them richer. Hopefully, once the police and the military men realize they have been played on the front line for decades, centuries, I should say, there will be a wholesale movement away from enforcement and to peacekeeping. Because that's what it really should be about, peacekeeping, not enforcement. We'll have all these, the Rodney King started, it started even before then. Sandra Bland, George Floyd, turn my race, turn my little boy. We'll have all Trayvon Martin. We'll have all this. And they was more into peacekeeping. As we won't have to work to make money for the gambling of others, but just for ourselves, the world will become a far better place. Hit the subscribe button. You made it this far in our video. Just wanted to talk to you about the spellbounding of words. The spellbounding of the capital letters to the small letters. Because we all been duped. We have all been duped and tricked and bamboozled. Hit the subscribe button. You made this far in our video. Hit the bell notifications. And I'm going to leave you with this. And I hope you took your notes and do your research. I talk slow enough, so you should get it. I'm going to talk about love, because if I love me, then I love you. And if you love you, in return, you love me. Family, I love because my love is not dependent on the object of love. My love is dependent on my state of being. So whether the other person changes, whether you like me or not, or love me or not, or becomes different, or a friend, or my friends turn to a foe, that doesn't matter to me. Because my love was never, ever dependent on another person. My love is a state of being. I simply love. My name is David. I'm the fly Optician. Until next time, I love you. I love you in truth. I love you in truth. Spread the information. Share the video. Let's talk. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. And do your research. Continue to evolve. Please. Peace.